How did Tommy Jarvis get Jason's mask at the beginning of Friday the 13th, Part 6? In the beginning of Friday the 13th, Part 6, we first see Tommy Jarvis with his friend traveling to the cemetery while in possession of Jason's hockey mask, intent on destroying Jason's body and likely burning the mask along with him. But how would such a thing be in his possession in the first place, especially given that it likely would have been taken as evidence at the end of Part 4 and stored away in a locker, similar to how Chucky was in Bride of Chucky? Most people believe that Tommy either somehow obtained the mask through the means of hiding it away all of these years, keeping it with his other mask that he even had with him at Pinehurst, or before the events of Part 6, he somehow stole the mask from an evidence locker and took it with him. My theory is that the mask we see in Part 6 is actually the mask we see in Part 5, Roy Burns' mask. As we know, Tommy is a prodigy of special effects art, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that Tommy would be able to make his own hockey mask, but given that he was confined and shipped from institution to institution, I find this highly unlikely. However, as obsessed as Tommy became with Jason, I think that after the events of Part 5, Tommy may have snatched Roy's mask from the crime scene and hid it in his bags before the police could arrive, which is how Tommy, likely in a dream sequence, imagined having it at the end before attacking Pam. I believe that Tommy used the following year or two to alter Roy's mask to match the one he sees in his hallucinations of Jason, even down to the axe cut caused by Chris Higgins, which initially, when we first see it, we are led to believe that it's the same mask from Part 4, but when comparing the two, it's not really a good match. The shape is kind of off. However, Roy's mask and the Part 6 mask look very similar in shape. The only thing Tommy would have really had to alter were just a few little details, such as repainting and the chevrons he would have to replace, which even then he likely wouldn't be able to get the red chevrons, which is why it kind of looks painted on in Part 6. Then he would likely have to change the straps and the snap system that goes along with that, which is all within the realm of possibility of him being able to do so over that time frame, since it doesn't take a whole lot to do that. And Tommy would also have access to the craft tools needed to alter the mask in such a way to what we see from Part 5 to Part 6. So long story short, I believe that the mask we see in Part 6 and 7 are both Roy Burns' masks. Seeing how Part 6 he gets the mask back from Tommy and Part 7 is a continuation, so it's the same mask from Part 6. So in essence, I believe that both movies feature Roy Burns' mask, just repainted, retooled, and given back to Jason, which is why it's not a complete match to the mask that we see in Part 4 or 3. But that's my theory. Do you agree? Or is the mask the same one we see him obtain from Shelley in Part 3, and again we see it in Part 4? Or did Tommy make it himself, making the mask a completely new iteration of what we've seen before? Comment below with your own theories, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as well as hitting the notification bell to be alerted whenever a new video is uploaded, as well as whenever I go live with some gameplay and horror talk. So feel free to come join the chat, and as always, I am JG Dark, and thanks for watching.